1975, The White Book by Makavelli, Episode 6, The Whirlwind. This is the first chapter not named The Great Migration. I'm curious to see how this new series of chapters unfold. Characters. And these are new characters because there are some overlapping characters in this chapter. This is another Jay-Z chapter. So as I said, the repeat characters are not listed. The new characters are Jose Chavez, Filani, Gar, Hector Gonzalez, Liluth, and the Guitar Man. The Guitar Man is really not named the Guitar Man. I don't know what his name is. But Liluth, as I did investigation, is a Hebrew name for a figure in Jewish mythology developed earliest in the Babylonian Talmud, who is generally thought to be part derived from a historically far earlier class of female demons, Laititu in Mesopotamian religion, found in cuneiform texts of Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, and Babylonia. New York City, Marcy Projects. The scene describes how Jay-Z loved and protected his microphone as a child. It also described the family dynamics of Jay-Z's childhood household. Louisiana, New Orleans, 1969. Word spread about the Eyes Wide Shut scene sex acts, and it was starting to mess up business for DeLuise and JL. JL finds out that Diane is pregnant. DeLuise finds out Luna has another boyfriend, and DeLuise then puts out a hit on Luna. Brooklyn, 1970. Pam calls and speaks with Diane. JL gets weirded out when they're on the phone call. And then him and Diane get in a fight. Diane pulls out a knife. JL talks some smack about the kids. Evret breaks a jug of Kool Aid over JL's head and cuts his neck with the handle. And then everyone beats up JL, and JL moves out. Diane then goes back to bad habits. NYMP, 1975. This is a section about Jay-Z spending time with his mother Diane and how she nicknamed him AD as their secret. So Jay-Z is now also known as AD. The section ends with excerpt 9. It's underlined as if it was a hyperlink, and the storyline kind of just ends there. Splendor. No date, no city. This is more of Jay-Z and his family dynamics. It mentions that Jay-Z sees a Jewish Star of David, a Christ cross, and an Islam symbol. This mysterious couple say for Jay-Z's sister and her boyfriend to go into the tunnel of love and that they would look over Jay-Z. And the mysterious couple is Liluth and the Guitar Man. They give Jay-Z some beer, and then they watch a performance of Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. They were in a place called Paradise City, and I'm not sure if this was the parade or a theme park or what, but I do remember the Guns N' Roses song Paradise City. Jay-Z begins to hallucinate or something, and I really had to suspend my disbelief and felt pretty strange how they're really tying Jay-Z into all the occult and Lucifer worship. After the whole strange occult episode, Shirley and Jose return and take Jay-Z home. Know the ledge. The chapter ends with a reference of "It felt strange to know the ledge." There was a song by Eric B. and Rakim on the Juice soundtrack called Juice, Know the Ledge. It's also a play on word for knowledge. Or I guess the ledge, being on the ledge of what there is to know. For a book to be about hip-hop, there has been a lot of Led Zeppelin references. I didn't realize how many times Led Zeppelin had been sampled until I researched it. Off the dome, I could only recall Puff Daddy making the Godzilla song Come With Me with Jimmy Page. The original song was called Kashmir that they sampled. Then I realized the Beastie Boys, they did Rhymin' and Stealin', Time to Get Ill, She's Crafty, Beastie's Groove, and like one other. Ice-T had Our Most Requested Record, which lifted from Whole Lotta Love. Lords of the Underground had a track called Money, which sampled Stairway to Heaven. Salt and Pepper had Assault with a Deadly Pepper. If you look it up online, there's like at least 100 Led Zeppelin samples. Busy Bone made a version of Stairway to Heaven on an unreleased song, and then Kim by Eminem also had a Led Zeppelin reference. There's a Tupac song called Life's So Hard that samples Led Zeppelin, and this is significant to the chapter because Stretch produced Life So Hard. And according to Whiteout's chart, JL is Stretch. Actually, JI is Stretch. Since I wrote this slide, I found out that there is a JI and a JL. I thought it was a typo. But JI is Stretch and JL is Jay-Z's dad. I initially thought they were the same guy, and I thought that was a real strange coincidence that Stretch would be making Tupac's records and is also Jay-Z's dad, but that apparently is not the case. Oh, another Led Zeppelin reference we can't forget is Biggie's Hypnotize. Dr. Dre, The Game, and many others have also sampled Led Zeppelin. Someone even did a Jay-Z Led Zeppelin and a Nas Led Zeppelin mashup album. Occult references. It wouldn't be a Jay-Z chapter without referencing the occult, right? Paradise City, Samael, Eye of the Whirlwind, my child, Secret Doctrine, Creature of Ecstatic, Magic Light. In his name we set your feet upon the left-hand path. In the name of Lucifer, we ring about you. In the name of Belial, we place his mark upon you. In the name of Leviathan and the great salt sea, we dress your being. Bellows breath, images set forth by a childhood fancy. Hail. Google searching. I wondered where these lines came from and did a search on Stairway to Heaven played backwards. But these lines were not from that. Someone on YouTube did do a reverse of the entire song of Stairway to Heaven, though. You ought to check it out. It's kind of crazy. Some of the lines are just absurd, but other lines are like, man, that's really spooky. I remembered hearing about Jay-Z playing Led Zeppelin or the Beatles albums backwards, or something like that back in like 2006 when like the Illuminati stuff started getting popular on YouTube. I did discover something more crazy, though. After running a Google search on "In His Name We Set Your Feet Upon the Left-Hand Path," it returned the correct result of Opus de Minimin, The Devil's Diary, but it also showed in anagram format a result of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, which I've always subconsciously associated with the occult. Second place was Modern Satanism, and the White Book comes in third. But then also the Holy Scriptures and other odd results. So do your own search, your own Google search on that. What I wondered would be to run searches on all of the hymns and prayers of these satanic rituals to see what other popular culture anagrams would surface. But I ain't got the time for that. Feel free to post your results below, though. The top results all showed the Devil's Diaries, so I assumed these were all taken from that. And the Devil's Diaries may possibly need to be read to understand some of these chapters. Ain't got time for that either. WTF. The treatment Jay-Z is getting in his novel is strange, and I know this isn't the last Jay-Z chapter from flipping through this mess. At first it's like, so where the heck is Tupac? But this book has gotten so effing strange that I'm enjoying just to see wherever it wants to go. Because we're starting to dip into some unexpected topics that I'm wondering what the average bear thinks they're encountering. I had no idea this book would go the places that it's going. I'm thrilled about it. Here I am thinking I'm getting into like a Tupac bio and I'm getting Conspiracy Theory 101. I'm not the average bear. I consider myself a world-class conspiracy theorist, versed in nearly all conspiracies from a lifetime of exploration and daring to go down the rabbit hole and take the red pill. And this was a very, very unexpected to start charting some of these waters. If you've been following along, consider how much information we've experienced. And we're only up to page 60. We still have 300 plus pages to go. Imagine how transformed we will be when this is done. I'm cracking up at how Jay-Z is being painted as an occultist secret society member from childhood. It's heavy amusement to me. I just read an interview between Jay-Z and Oprah Winfrey, and it's like, after reading these chapters, it feels like she's asking him all sorts of secret society questions disguised as regular life stories. I can't unlearn this material. I can never look at Jay-Z the same ever again. Cultural references: banana splits, L7, Commodores, Spinners, one-of-a-kind love affair, Love Don't Love Nobody, Ghetto Child, Then Came You, William S. Burroughs' Rock Magic. And I think Jay-Z had some song called like Blue Magic or something. I'll See You in 1976. If you thought 1974 and 1975 were unexpected, wait until you see the next chapter. Do your boy a favor and comment, like or dislike, or sub the channel if you haven't. Just interact. I'm on Facebook, Jonathan Lippy. I'm on Twitter, @JonathanLippy. I'll see you in 1976 for the unseen hand. Oh yeah, we're about to take the red pill.